If you love animals, you probably wish that they'd all love you too, or at least not be grumpy and aggressive when you encounter some of them. Thankfully, even some of the largest, most unexpected creatures can love peace just as much as you do. Some of these animals are so loving, they form some of the most unexpected relationships to dangerous species in the wild.
9. Python. Pythons are fearsome carnivores that constrict their prey in order to kill it. They can grow to be absolutely enormous, able to devour any animals they come across. There are around 10 accepted python species that live all over the world. When introduced to a new environment, they tend to take over quickly, being well known as a troublesome invasive species. Even though they're truly terrifying creatures, many people actually keep pythons as pets. Pythons, it seems, are actually quite fond of people when raised properly and make exceptional, albeit costly, pets. Many issues involving pythons taking over new areas comes down to people releasing pet pythons when they grow too large to properly care for. Pythons aren't known for attacking people, and while pythons' attacks on humans do occur, attacks are minimal. Most pythons are more than happy to climb all over a person without causing them any harm, and many pythons seem to gravitate towards human contact. They form close bonds with people who they come into regular contact with and exhibit signs of excited, some might say happy, behavior when they show up. It's strange to think that snakes would be relatively fond of people, but pythons are a great pet and are quite loving, as long as they continue to be fed, of course. We'd love to hear what you think about having any snake as a pet in the comments. Vulture. Incredibly social creatures, vultures form close bonds with each other. These bonds can last a lifetime and are especially tight when it comes to mating pairs. Young vultures also often stay with their parents for extended periods of time, with some never actually leaving the nest. Vultures are scavengers and aren't aggressive by nature. They also benefit from gathering together in groups. Now, we don't recommend that anyone tries to go out and get a pet vulture anytime soon. We're sure that they'd happily bond with a human as well as they bond with each other. But as an exotic pet, they'd end up taking a lot more work to keep one than most people are able to put in. 4. Tarantula. Tarantulas have a reputation for being killer spiders, but they actually pose a minimal threat to people. They are more likely to scurry off and hide if confronted, and the worst they can really do is cover you in itchy hairs. Tarantulas gain their reputation because they're quite large spiders and do have a menacing appearance. Their bite can also leave a human victim feeling agitated, which gives the tarantula dance its name. Popular exotic pets, tarantulas are pretty sweet, especially with their owners. As long as you don't startle a pet tarantula, it'll just happily crawl all over you, exploring the entire time. Even in the wild, they're fairly docile and won't attack unless it's their final resort. At the end of the day, if you don't mess with them, then they're more than happy to be friendly with you. 2. Hissing cockroach. The Madagascar hissing cockroach is one of the largest species of cockroach in the entire world and are native to, of course, Madagascar. They can reach lengths of around 2 to 3 inches long and feed primarily on vegetable material. Hissing cockroaches are a little different than the cockroaches we've learned to hate, but they're still pretty creepy looking. Still, many people enjoy keeping them as pets. In captivity, they've been known to live up to 5 years, so if you decide to get one for yourself, then you're going to be in it for the long haul. They're definitely considered exotic pets and don't require much space to live comfortably. They also don't like light and tend to run and hide if light sources get too bright. People who own hissing cockroaches say that they're exceptionally social creatures that enjoy spending time with their owners and each other. They only hiss when they're stressed out or feel threatened, so you won't have to worry about them constantly hissing, although we're sure it's a bit of an issue anyway. Number 1. Naked mole rat. Naked mole rats are absolutely terrifying to look at. They're pretty much hairless, except for a few scraggly hairs sticking out here and there. They also have freaky-looking eyes, although they're able to see. They're born blind and weigh only around 2 grams when first born. One of their most impressive features is their 2 massive front teeth, which help aid them in digging tunnels. In the wild, they spend most of their lives underground, living in colonies with around 20 to 300 individuals packed into their tunnels. Naked mole rats also lack an insulating layer in the skin, so they get cold really easily. All those bodies help to keep them warm when it's cold. When it gets too hot, they simply retreat to cooler parts of their burrow. They have a complex social structure and seem to thrive on contact with each other. Secluded naked mole rats have been said to exhibit signs of depression, but they're more than happy when they've got someone to play with. It's interesting to note that naked mole rats have a ridiculously high resistance to cancer, so it might be worth it for us to look into how they're able to pull that off with such impressive success. Even more interesting is the idea that other varieties of mole rats also have built-in cancer resistance, but they use a different mechanism, putting the naked mole rat in a league of its own, so to speak.